Hello everyone. Today I would like to share about my biggest investment that I did. I will tell you where you need to pay attention, why I did this investment, how I did it, and how do I feel myself right now. My biggest investment that I have done so far is buying the property where I am right now sitting and taking this video. So this is my huge investment. It was not an easy at all decision that I made. How I made it, it was back in 2019 when I was surfing the internet while checking where I should invest, because by that time I was renting my apartment and I was paying some amount of money for my rent, for my bills, and at that time I was thinking, okay, as long as I have saved some amount of money and this is what I'm paying on monthly basis, it's gonna be an extra expenditure. Why not to buy a new apartment for the amount of money that I have right now? So before that time I was obviously saving. I was using my own strategy in order to try to save the amount of money where I can invest in the future. So with this help, obviously I have saved some money and I was ready to buy the property. But obviously I had two options by then. First one, to buy a secondary flat, secondary apartment, or to find an apartment which is under construction. So for that I had to find some good construction companies and make some research. So number one thing that we all have to do if we are gonna invest in anything would be to make our own research. Research is really key thing. So I've done my own research and I have found a few construction companies who were doing a construction works at that time, and I had to choose the best one for me. But I had to pay attention to main three things: the location where the flat is going to be located, materials, what kind of materials they are using and how they are going to deliver it, and obviously the price. It was really important for me. So if you want to buy an apartment, a flat, just make sure that you are paying attention to the location where it's located. For me, I just had to make sure that it's located close to the city center, to all the amenities and the facilities where I'm usually going on weekly basis, and as well as also to your work location. If you have a service, in that case it should be at least close to the bus station so that the service can pick you up from the area. And just these things are really important. And also the price of the apartment, because you're not buying a secondary apartment as long as you're buying a flat which is under construction. This is a really great risk, and you don't have to you don't want to pay this huge amount of money for that. And obviously when I was checking the contracts, obviously based on the location, I have done my I have finalized and I have found only one company, the most suitable for myself. I have checked their contract. In the contract it was stated that it is gonna be completed within around 1 year time frame, but verbally they told me that it's gonna be completed within the 6 months time frame. So just don't this was my biggest mistake. Never trust. Just make sure that if you buy the apartment, you are not in rush to move in as soon as possible, because contract might state one thing, but overall due to some circumstances they might not complete on time, and that's why you need to wait for some additional months. In my case, I had to wait for 1.5 year until my flat is completed fully. And so that why I was not in rush. Obviously I was not in rush, but it affects on the method of payment. For example, some construction companies provide the opportunity to pay by installments. So if you have this opportunity, I would recommend go for that one. I thought that its completion is gonna be within the 6 months time frame. So I thought anyway it's gonna be completed, so I will just pay at once. So I did that one, but it didn't happen here. So I have to wait 1.5 years, but it's okay. It's fine in my case. Apart from that, how do I feel now? So after 1.5 years, like in the end of 2020, we started doing our refurbishment, the painting works and everything. We have completed everything, right? And the tempting part of buying this flat, which was under construction, is like I was able to do my own design, and I was really keen to choose the location where my kitchen will be located, where the dining room, where the living room will be located. So I was really keen in these kind of things, and and this flat gave me this opportunity to make everything by my own, right? And now if I look back, and if I think about whether I have done the right decision or wrong decision, I would say definitely the right decision, because if I'm gonna sell this apartment now, the price has been doubled, and definitely the amount of money I paid back in 2019 is not gonna be the same now. So this is a really huge investment for your future, and don't hesitate in buying any kind of apartment property, even it's 1 bed flat or 2 bed flat. Just if you have this chance, invest in it, and after a few years you will see that you're gonna sell it for a higher, for more expensive price. But what really matters when choosing the apartment, just pay attention to the location, because as long as my apartment is close to the city center, now I am able to sell it more, for higher price. And and as well as we have our security, the cameras, and on roof of our apartment we have our swimming pool. So this is really advantages of buying this flat as well, right? So overall, I guess the decision was right. Before buying this apartment, I have done really a great research. So that's why I keep telling that whatever you are gonna make your decision, and these things should be number one, like making your own research, paying attention to the location. If you are investing in the apartment, these things are really key factors. Don't rush. You should never rush. Just take your time, and whether it takes 1 month, whether it takes 2 month time, so it's totally fine. It's really totally fine, because everything is gonna affect in the future. And therefore, if you take some time now, and if you are sure that you're gonna make the right decision, then you can invest. Then you can do your complete your tasks, whatever the aim you have right now. So when I have some aim, I obviously, the first thing that I usually do is make my own plan. Planning is really key thing. So everything, I believe, starts from the planning, but this is definitely not a topic to discuss at this stage. So probably I'm thinking about taking another video about planning, how I usually plan, and how I what systems I use while planning, what applications I use. So maybe in the future I'm gonna take this kind of video.